Parmesan.
Parmesan. Parmesan.
Parmesan. Gross.
Yeah.
I hate it.
In an age when showrunners must not only create relevant and relatable stories that fall in line with current pop culture cravings.
Is this a Saw thing? Are you seriously sawing the Vindicators?
Morty, I'm a drunk, not a hack. You break the rules, lose the game, or try to leave, you will die. Like in Saw.
But also intellectually driven
We're
with
about to vanish from this reality.
That's totally dying.
No, it isn't. It's everyone from this reality returning to their reality of origin.
How did I end up not in my own universe? Oh my god, the Jerry Baree.
Oh, the Jerry Baree. Deep cuts.
many times satire and philosophy as the foundation of some of our favorite modern day IPs.
Someone please help.
Rick and Morty still stands out as the culture-defining series it's been for now almost 9 seasons, regardless of their frequent highly publicized scandals over the years.
Yeah, you know, it gets less painful the drunker you are. Oh, wait. I'm super...
With the release of its 9th season scheduled to premiere on Adult Swim May 24th,
Summer Street 2!
Get out of my room!
That experience changed me, man. I didn't see what I was doing.
then subsequently streaming on HBO Max starting August 31st, Rick and Morty, everybody's favorite animated sitcom, juggles all three flawlessly. The show is much more than just a cartoon series. In each episode since its pilot,
Let's watch some crazy stuff, yo!
a philosophical question is hidden under a completely absurd adventure.
It's the middle of the night, what are you talking about? Jeez, Rick, oh my god! Ow, you're tugging me too hard!
Making it the guilty pleasure for so many of us even now, almost 13 years later.
Damn, this is nice corn.
Rick and Morty, critically acclaimed for seamlessly blending absurdism,
Gonna pay off med school, baby!
Time of death is now!
nihilism, and dark satire to explore the human condition. The show uses science fiction as a lens to critique modern technology and existential dread,
You Ricks don't have many original ideas, do you?
Stay out of my way.
Stay out of mine!
with Rick Sanchez functioning as a nihilistic anti-hero,
Constellatio gift from a rich uncle. Be rude not to take it.
struggling with emotional connection and mental health. Even though haters will always argue against its somewhat simplistic animation style, its use of dreamlike and bizarre surrealism only heightens the constant non-linear scenarios exploring the nature of
Looks like
reality
they just got a regular gap.
and existence.
Rick, were you just drunk when you were here?
I'm drunk now. Where's all the rusty nails? Where's the herpes family flume?
Light up corn dog?
Get the away from me.
Rick embodies the belief that life is meaningless. However, the show often counters this with a deep humanism where personal relationships provide meaning amidst cosmic indifference.
I had my pants down and everything. I really do need to go.
Just go in a bush.
I swear it used to be funnier than this.
Don't turn around.
Philosophers have long argued that meaning is not inherited or cosmic, but constructed through action and subjective personal choices. Existentialism argues that in a meaningless world, it's the individual's job to forge their own meaning and values, asserting that people aren't born with a predefined nature. Instead, we first exist and then define our essence, if you will, through our actions and decisions.
Some of your DNA.
To the unassuming viewer, watching the adventures of a scientist who may or may not have fabricated the very universe itself and his emotionally exhausted teenage grandson might seem mid or boring at first. Though Rick and Morty offers a narrative like no other, appealing to those who seek meaning in the absurdity that is the existence. The show uses the concept of multiverses like so many of our other mainstream franchises today, but not only as science fiction content or to plug in whichever AAA star filmmakers manage to get a hold of. Rick and Morty also questions the relative nature of choices and human identity time and time again. Our protagonist's nihilistic attitude points to a worldview where everything becomes irrelevant in this infinite universe reality. But this is exactly why character conflicts and emotional breakdowns hit that much harder. Felt by creators and viewers alike far more brutally and effectively, I might add. Rick and Morty exists somewhat as a wolf in sheep's clothes. From first glance, seemingly like any other adult animated sitcom of our time, with reoccurring gags and ongoing tropes,
Can't believe we're doing Big Little Lies and I'm the train guy.
with sci-fi elements feasibly scattered throughout. So it would make sense that they can roam the cosmos in Grandpa's spaceship, going further than Ben 10 could ever have. And yes, a portal gun can allow travel to any other conceivable dimension within the
I'm
multiverse.
swatting. Hey, you can't go there like that.
You used to be able to piss wherever you wanted to, like on Earth.
But outside of the clever humor and use of scientific theoretical frameworks, after only a few episodes, you quickly become addicted to the existential questions that arise after the closing theme.
All right, Morty, here we are.
Oh my God, Rick, is that us? We're dead. What is going on, Rick? I'm freaking out.
Calm down, Morty. Look at me. Calm down, Morty.
No, I can't do it.
Lick my balls. Yeah, say that all the time.
After Rick and Morty's iffy 7th season, Season 8 has fully reignited its relevancy to past heights, earning a 100% score on Rotten Tomatoes from critics and 87% from fans. This has been the best rated season since its supposed prime with Season 3 all the way back in 2017. Adult Swim is enjoying this massive resurgence as the creator Justin Roiland swiftly being forced to leave production, with many fans theorizing right smack dab in the middle of production for Season 7.
If you guys are watching this, you're the Vindicators, and where was I? Oh,
Had left many fans with a sour taste. Everything from the script to plot structure and even animation were brought back up to speed, with Ian Cardone, our new voice actor for Rick, teasing fans that the best way to prepare for Season 9 is to hone in on Season 8. Watch very carefully, rewatch it, and get all of those moments.
You were scooping hot steamers out of a pipe, so I saved you. Now blow some working class luck on these dice, amigo.
There's going to be a lot that's built upon.
I turned myself into a leg.
Oh no, geez. Or, okay. You know, okay is a good one.
Cute, coming from a show that has proven to build upon ongoing storylines time after time, with relevant world building bundled with each, whether it be variants or clone Ricks, and the Citadel, along with the aftermath that follows its destruction. The ever-prevalent tribute to simulation theory,
It's working. I got an excellent electrical grid. That means no chargers, you old bitch. I win. The Matrix is obsolete.
or the ever-looming threat of Evil Morty becoming a reality with our Prime Morty and C-137 Rick. All at this point, classics when it comes to the Rick and Morty universe. But I think I just might know what Cardone is talking about.
Caribbean Queen, written by Hugh Jackman, age 16.
Showrunners might be not so subtly hinting at the final realization of our Morty as Evil Morty. After 13 long seasons since his first appearance all the way back in Season 1, Episode 10, titled Close Rick Counters of the Rick Kind. Initially introduced as the silent eye patch wearing sidekick to Evil Rick, but then revealed at the episode's end to be the true mastermind controlling Rick with a transmitter. The entirety of Morty's storyline throughout the show's 13 seasons has been of the gradual process of losing innocence and gaining independence through years of trauma and exposure to Rick's nihilism. Though, on a technicality, Evil Morty is a completely distinct character from a different dimension. It's not difficult to see the paralleling that has started to arise between Evil Morty and our Prime Morty. In many ways, he's low-key growing Rick-like cynicism, from his emotional detachment to his newly gained competence and skill. Over time, Morty has become desensitized to violence and mass tragedy, often reacting with boredom or cold efficiency rather than horror, reminiscent to his numb grandfather. Morty has now mastered advanced technology and portal travel, making him less of a sidekick and more of a capable individual who can survive without Rick.
Hey, Morty.
Hey, Rick. You drunk yet?
You're my little buddy. You know that? It's you and me, Morty. Rick and Morty, 100 years, forever.
Yeah, pal. Rick and Morty. 100 years. Forever.
Get off me. What are you doing?
As revealed in the Season 5 finale, Morty has become increasingly aware of how Ricks across the multiverse exploit Mortys as human shields and disposable tools. There's been countless snapping points where Mortys had quite enough. Episodes like the Vat of Acid in Season 4 show Morty's capacity for intense, vengeful anger towards Rick when he feels manipulated or belittled. which was quite often.
Can we go?
While Evil Morty's sins are defined by his desire to be left alone, our Morty is slowly reaching a point where he values his own agency far more than his loyalty to Rick. Tired of being treated as a sidekick and subjected to dangerous adventures, for a majority of the show, Morty has been gradually breaking away from Rick's influence, becoming ever fed up with the abusive, toxic cycle of Rick's control, leading to a desire for role reversal or escape entirely. Speaking of our favorite alcoholic mad scientist, Rick Sanchez may seem like an arrogant, careless genius who knows the answers to everything when coming from an omniscient point of view.
Kill you. You brought 2 Mortys with you? What, they're your cheerleaders?
But after watching a few episodes, fans can generalize that he's not just someone who knows everything, but someone who carries the weight of knowing all things.
6 years of improv workshops. Comedy comes in 3s. It's a trap. Abort. We never left it.
The show writers continue to overtly point out that his intelligence is not a superpower, but rather a curse. Rick's sarcastic and condescending attitude towards the world
You okay?
is evidently a defense mechanism. He's someone who can't show love openly, avoids emotional connections, and suppresses his inner collapse with drinking. And these sides of his make him frighteningly familiar to the audience, as it's human. Since he has a mind that tries to keep everything under control in order to keep himself from breaking emotionally, though the more he controls them, the lonelier he becomes. We know from his many encounters with other versions of himself, Rick clearly has an anger towards Rick.
Only talk to a Rick with higher clearance. La-dee-da. Give me that. D99.
In one episode, he tries to end it all. And in another, he sees himself as a
I
god.
have maths. I'm a god now. You're
These two extremes, psychologically speaking, are clear indicators of the war within his own mind. A man who can solve everything with his intellect, but somehow can't cope with his own emotions. This is where Rick Sanchez breaks away from the age-old genius character archetype, and is just human.
Replace them both as the de facto patriarch of your family and your universe. Your mom wouldn't have accepted me if I came home without you and your sister, so now you know the real reason I rescued you. I just took over the family, Morty, and if you tell your mom or sister I said any of this, I'll deny it, and they'll take my side because I'm a hero, Morty. Now you're gonna have to go and do whatever I say, Morty, forever. And I'll go out and I'll find some more of that Mulan Szechuan teriyaki dipping sauce, Morty. Just hit a button, Morty. Give me a beat.
Oh man, okay, alright,
The Rick and Morty multiverse is filled with the craziest, most outlandish creatures, landscapes, and tech that has ever been or yet to be conceived. Every single possibility is reality in one form or another within the ever-convoluted Rick and Morty canon, the philosopher's playground. The show has always centered around one main collision of ideologies, between that of the woke and mainstream ways of viewing the world. Yes, there are scientific theories and societal structures dwelled upon from writers ever since its pilot. Most of the plot has still been generally between a transcendent and tradition-based way of living. Rick embodies the woke mindset. For him, everything can be explained by science, and as he's obviously a great scientist, ergo, he's essentially all-knowing.
Oh, jeez.
Rick looks beyond our everyday understanding of things and our attachment to them, even tricking the devil using science.
Everything.
Oh my god! How can I not see this coming? My lust. My greed. I deserve this!
This serum should counteract the negative effects.
Holy cats! Ladies, let's get out of here. I haven't learned a thing!
Here, you can have this back.
You didn't use it?
Sure I did. To develop this, it detects and catalogs all your Twilight Zone, Ray Bradbury, Friday the 13th of series, voodoo crap magic. I thought you might want it.
He's like the alcoholic Cecil Stedman.
That's the problem with demons. You only see good and evil, black and white. Well, I need to keep things great.
At the same time, the rest of his family are trapped in the mainstream way of viewing the world. Take Morty's dad, Jerry. He is a simple man who's satisfied with his life for the most part, even if it could just all be a simulation.
It's just a pitch.
Like that one episode.
Gotta relax. National Apple Farmers of America. Welcome to our ad agency. I'm Jerry Smith. All right.
Critics often frame the show through the lens of Friedrich Nietzsche and Albert Camus, both nihilist philosophers of their time. Rick Sanchez is seen as a nihilist who believes life is inherently meaningless, which he uses to justify his reckless and often callous behavior. To understand the show, one must first distinguish between absurdity, silly humorous situations, and absurdism, the philosophical conflict between searching for meaning but finding none. Rick and Morty is praised for balancing both, using high-concept sci-fi to explore the crushing weight of unlived lives. The point of philosophy is to understand concepts from a synoptic view, or rather one that integrates the scientific and mainstream ideas in a one coherent, interwoven ideology. By this logic, Morty is the epitome for philosophical development in the show, as he learns that the multiverse itself is much stranger than he could have ever imagined. He begins to carry himself more efficiently in new adventures more and more. Back in season 1, we saw Morty completely overwhelmed by all the different possibilities and scenarios his grandfather's lucid brain could devise.
How are we gonna get back home?
Ways to get back home.
But later on, he's able to comfortably use the portal gun all by himself. Even though he learned so much of the scientific sides of things from Rick, he doesn't lose his perspective on traditional aspects of existence,
I'm sure you guys will figure it out. I believe in you.
like morality, family, and emotions. Existentialism has always tried to find meaning in a universe that becomes ever more disenchanted. So where philosophers and scientists alike have warned of the threat to meaning in life that comes from science and especially neurobiology, the more we find out about our brain and how our mental life is encoded in it, the more we seem to be just complicated animals. We come to see ourselves more as biological robots than as the free, worthy, and rational beings we always thought ourselves to be. As Rick puts it,
Listen, Morty, I hate to break it to you, but what people call love is just a chemical reaction that compels animals to breed. It hits hard, Morty, then it slowly fades, leaving you stranded in a failing marriage. I did it. Your parents are gonna do it. Break the cycle, Morty. Rise above. Focus on science.
All right, well, I'm gonna go get dressed for the dance.
Yeah, I'm just going to check on your mom.
viewing ourselves from a purely analytical perspective, there seems to be no place for values and meaning above and beyond the needs of a biological species. To Rick, the universe is just a meaningless mess, and we're just grains of dust living in it. You're not wrong.
Our priorities land safely.
Hull breached. Secure your helmets immediately.
Our show explores two solutions to this conflict:
He marked it.
neuroabsurdism and neuroexistentialism. The latter believes that we should seek our own meaning in life while confronted with the inherent meaninglessness of the universe. Neuroabsurdism accepts that there is just no meaning to have. Taking upon the ideas of Albert Camus, a Nobel Prize-winning philosopher whose work centered on the conflict between humanity's innate search for meaning and the silent, indifferent universe that offers none. Instead of despair, Camus proposed accepting this absurdity, rebelling against it by living life passionately, freely, and as intensely as possible. This ideology is most obvious with Rick's search for the Szechuan sauce. It's completely absurd to confront all of these challenges for merely a pack of nugget sauce.
Welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order?
Yeah, I'd like to get a 10-piece McNugget and a bunch of the Szechuan sauce. Like, as much as you're allowed to give me.
Reminiscent to that of Sisyphus in Greek mythology, who rolls his rock up a hill every single day only to watch it roll right back down. To Rick, if absurdism is right, then the world and life are meaningless anyways. So why care that much?
1998, they had this promotion for the Disney film Mulan, where they created a new sauce for the McNuggets called Szechuan sauce, and it's delicious. And then they got rid of it, and now it's gone. This is the only place we're gonna be able to try it is in my memory.
Rick, you're doing this bit while your brain is melting.
Okay, all right.
For him, the universe is infinite, the possibilities endless. Even death to Rick Sanchez is debatable.
Frying my backups. Smart. So you're like an
Though, like any other deity-esque character, this limitlessness, after a while, devalues everything.
I know what kind of god I need to be.
Existentialism comes out the most with scenes where Rick embraces his
Do you
family.
have 5126? I'm not sure. Morty. That's a blips and shits ticket. What? Way to go, Morty. Whatever.
Wait, what?
And sees a value in life with them in it.
Universe. Let it kick itself out.
I can't do that. The kids, Jerry, my job, and as much as
As Morty puts it,
Don't run. Nobody exists on purpose. Nobody belongs anywhere. Everybody's gonna die. Come watch TV.
come watch TV.
That's why I always say, shum shum, slippity dop.
After watching so many episodes of Rick and Morty, especially from the recent season 8, the audience tends to ask themselves, what the hell did I just watch?
Yeah, I'm James Gunn.
Hey! Bradley Cooper carved that desk.
What was up with that last maximum velocity?
You didn't like it?
Instead of the usual uninspired chuckle.
Dinner companion imaginable.
The fan favorite Pickle Rick episode centers around a man who escapes therapy by turning into a pickled cucumber.
Come on, flip the pickle, Morty. You're not gonna regret it. The payoff is huge. I turned myself into a pickle, Morty! Boom! Big reveal. I'm a pickle. What do you think about that? I turned myself into a pickle!
Though this may seem ridiculous from first viewing, the episode can also be seen as an absurd reflection of Rick's tendency to avoid emotional responsibilities. All tied in an entertaining, digestible 30-minute format. The humor of the show is unexpected, clever, and most of all, disturbing. Which is what has made it a household staple year after year.
What? Oh, shit.
Knock yourself out.
Listen, Rick to Rick, he's got the weapon plans.
As many times, the context of the jokes often touches something within us all that
Do your
resonates.
job and consume broadcast network reality TV on the same allegedly ironic level as you.
As it's not hard to understand that laughing at the ludicrosity of life sometimes makes it
Feels
bearable.
no pain, regrets nothing, and has zero chance of going Blade Runner.
Luda. Rick and Morty over the years have become damn near a subgenre in and of itself, with countless other IPs either homaging or mimicking that of our favorite animated sitcom.
Oh, go, God, look at the baby one. Oh my God, Morty. You killed the entire Simpsons, Morty. They're a beloved family, Morty. They're a national treasure, and you killed them.
I'm just a kid. I don't want to go to jail.
Relax, Morty, calm down. We'll take care of it. Okay, I want you to take that vial of Simpsons goo and this picture to this address. They'll make us new Simpsons. You understand me, Morty?
What are you gonna do?
Morty, I gotta clean this place up before somebody comes snooping around. You know how many characters there are in The Simpsons, Morty? There's like a billion characters. They did an episode where George Bush was their neighbor.
All right, can't argue with that.
If they can teleport, why did we take work here, Steve? Same as you.
You. Brian, we need to go to 2060 to find out what happened. That's not your normal time pad. Where'd you get that? I borrowed it from Rick and Morty. They borrowed plenty from us.
No!
Is it wrong if I think this is kind of hot?
Bugs, I'm getting the feeling that I need to be very literal with you.
We're done running tests on your badger thing. It turns out his condition is irreversible.
I'll never erase what I saw from my brain.
He's your problem now, dum-dum!
No bugs. Does this thing bite?
Ah, zip tie.
What makes Rick and Morty stand out in a sea of adult animation, and the most fundamental reason why the series is so beloved even almost a decade and a half after its first premiere, is that they never leave the viewer in an idle reactive position. Each episode presents a brand new philosophical question, a new moral contradiction. It forces the viewer to ask themselves, what did I just learn? Rather than the age-old, what would you do in that instance? Which is extremely difficult, especially in our dopamine-induced storytelling landscape. Watching Rick and Morty feels like a fun adventure at times, and at others, a mental obstacle course. But regardless, the audience leaves with something meaningful each time. It's almost as if the writers and creators want to remind us of the complete and utter randomness of the universe. where any and all things are possible.
Jesus!
You got some of that green stuff on you too, huh?
This is bad. This is really bad.
Hey, how do you think I feel? I had the ultimate stash hole, and now I got a kid in my thigh.
Human emotions like love, connection, and one searching for meaning are all still important in a terrain of absurdity. The harmony between Rick's isolation with knowledge and Morty's naivety is the heart of this series. I mean, it's literally in the title. Like reality, it seems our showrunners continue to be tentative on whether Rick and Morty will inevitably be absurdist or existentialist. The pendulum continues to swing in one direction, then the other with every subsequent season. And we may just end up waiting years as the show does not seem to be letting up anytime soon. Which gives fans even more reason to go back and re-binge all 8 seasons before the newest hits our screens next month.
All right, Morty, pack your shit. That's only gonna keep him down for a little bit, Morty. You f with squirrels, Morty. We got a good 5 minutes before they're backing up on our ass, Morty. We have to pack up and move to a new reality, Morty. You know, I said we could only do that a couple of times. We're f***ed over here because of these damn squirrels.
Only on HBO Max, Hulu, and for digital purchase.
Living in that tank. He's right behind me, isn't he?
He's in front of you.
Oh, my eyes are still adjusting.
Whether we actually get the answer for meaning in an ever meaningless world, or if we just need to dwell in the absurdities of the multiverse. One thing's for sure, choosing to be meaningful in a meaningless universe is perhaps the bravest thing of all. Circa Albert Camus 1942. Oh, also, wubba lubba dub dub! Another nihilistic joke on Rick's mental state, hidden in bird-person dialect. Complete nonsense if it was about any other show. It's Pickle Rick!
Family, Morty, that was fake. I'm driven by finding that McNugget sauce. I want that Mulan McNugget sauce, Morty. That's my series arc, Morty. If it takes 9 seasons, I want my McNugget dipping sauce, Szechuan sauce, Morty. That's what's gonna take us all the way to the end, Morty. 9 more seasons, Morty. 9 more seasons until I get that dipping Szechuan sauce. For 97 more years, Morty. I want that McNugget sauce, Morty.
Human emotions like love, connection, and the universe. Love, connection, and the universe. Yo, somebody make that into a movie right now. Through the lens of, yeah, I'm not getting that. Friedrich Nietzsche. And these sides of him make, breathe. Baby, don't divide our needs. Simple things make a difference in your day. Take the time to tell me why. What is it anyway? My apologies. I'm so sorry. I just got back from the gastroenterologist. He told me that I can't drink, so now I be high as shit and all that insensitive nugget sauce. How was you feeling, bro? Feeling like a fool? I felt fantastic. Which one would you be though? Mr. Fantastic is money like elastic. Burberry trench coat, you smoke oregano. I smoking on that cat piss. Yeah, I still don't get why we call it that.